story that we've actually had over the weekend till now has been really interesting. To do analysis to these stories, we have Tega in the studio. Tega Supreme. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Hi, I love that. So wow, you
No,
had a good
no.
weekend, eh?
Welcome, Lagos. Make sure you use the hashtag Locum91 while you're up on Twitter. If you go over to YouTube right now, you'll be able to watch us on the live stream, saying hello. And last but not least, you can also send in your
Win over Seychelles last Saturday in Victoria. Attention has now been shifted to how to collect the maximum points from Libya when they clashed on the 13th of October 2018 in Kaduna. It was important we won the game in Seychelles, he said. Now we must concentrate on the Libyan games. According to Rohr, he continues, it was not an easy game because Seychelles fought so much and were very aggressive. They wanted to get a result. Second half was more difficult because we had the win to contend with and we're fighting against the fighting team. I'm satisfied with the result. He continues, we had one injury and 2 yellow cards. Substitute Kelechi Hanacho. I do not want him to get a second yellow card. Interesting.
Interesting. Super Eagles has much energy as they did. I wasn't really convinced by their performance, but I was looking at the quality of the opposition and some of the struggles that they had. I was like, this is not heartwarming.
Oh, you're expecting 6.
This is not heartwarming. The amount of goals is even the way but ultimately they came back with the result. 3 goals, 3 points. What they need right now is just a couple of positive results to get them to where they are. So congratulations on the win for them. And yes, Libya is next up. And then the Libya coach has already put himself in bad books of Nigerians by saying that Nigerians use juju to play their games. I was like, where was our juju against South Africa? Did it fail? So it's I mean he's come to apologize for it, but ultimately you can't take what you've said back. It's like, if you come to Nigeria, that juju that you're looking for, you'll find it. So that is the next one he faces, because regardless of the results Nigeria got on Saturday, we still are third on the group behind South Africa and Libya. So Nigeria needs to beat Libya to start making headway into qualification positions, and that's very important for Gain of Raw. In as much as they're saying the game is in Kaduna, there's still no guarantees that it will hold in Kaduna. So we're still looking for that place. But as long as you have your team, I think Gain of Raw should focus on that and try to get results for the Super Eagles. Yes.
All right. Consistent juju, maybe. Let's carry on. Yes, we got to talk about the US Open, haven't we? We'll start with Novak Djokovic, who said that he wished his idol Pete Sampras was in attendance for the US Open final, and that's after matching the idol for third on the career list for Grand Slam titles. So the Serb moved into joint third on the all-time list of male Grand Slam singles champions with Sampras by winning his 14th major title. So hoping he's going to be here. Adversity, and you learn when you're down, when you have doubtful moments. I try to take the best out of myself in those moments and get myself in this position.
I've invited Pete Sampras. Try. When Roger wants his idol there, there's no question about how is he coming or not. He brings him.
Yep.
Don't come and be saying I like Pete Sampras, but we never see you talk to him. Feeling tense. Look, by the time everybody crashed out, like Del Potro had no chance. I mean, think about it. Djokovic's got covers for everything else. Del Potro has his big serves, his big forehands, but Djokovic covers for everything else. His court movement is not the same. So it was a strange night for Del Potro, beating Rafa Nadal, even if it was a walking wounded Rafa Nadal who had to retire during the match because of injury. I said that body just puts that guy under pressure. But what it is, I still felt that even if Nadal did make it to the finals fully fit, he still would have lost to Djokovic, because Djokovic just knows how to beat Nadal. As in, he just knows how to do it. The same way Roger Federer used to struggle against Rafa Nadal, the same way Rafa Nadal now struggles against Djokovic. So I still think Djokovic pretty much knew he had to win it. The people that were going to stop Djokovic weren't the big names. It was all those tricky names earlier. And since he survived them, then he was good. So congratulations to him. He now has 14 Grand Slams, all tied with Pete Sampras on the latest. Well, the difference between them, I think, and the Pete Sampras era, where there were too many people in Pete Sampras era in the same age range.
Yeah.
Chasing titles. So even if they did win a lot, there were no really dominant people. Like Roger Federer was the dominant person in his time. Rafa Nadal and Djokovic are not Federer's age mates. They're 30, 31, 30. And Roger Federer, they're like 5 years at least younger than Roger Federer. So Roger Federer's mates are all those David Ferrer that come. So Federer had the time to dominate, but now the younger ones have
closing the gap.
They're closing the gap. So that those 20 Grand Slams he has, it may not be enough to stand the test of time. I mean, Rafa Nadal is on 17, 3 more French Opens, which is likely to win.
Yeah.
And he's in there. So I guess all those biggest Grand Slam record holder, he will tumble down in 2 days. Just leave it.
So let's talk about the interesting drama that we experienced on the weekend. Now, Naomi Osaka won the US Open final. Everybody knows this. But Osaka became Japan's first ever Grand Slam champion by this win after she thumped 6-4 in a dramatic final on Saturday. In her words, Osaka said, "I know everyone was cheering for her, and I'm sorry it had to end like this. I just want to say thank you for watching the match. It was always my dream to play Serena in the US Open finals. I'm really glad I was able to do that." She continues, "I did not know what was going on. I was just trying to focus. Since it was my first Grand Slam final, I did not want to get overwhelmed," she said.
Yeah, an interesting one. Serena's had slow starts in her matches building up to this, and it wasn't any different when she faced Naomi Osaka. In fact, it looked worse, especially with the double break in the first set. Naomi Osaka was returning everything that Serena sent, and Serena was not getting looks in on Naomi's game. Played an absolutely amazing match. First of all, Serena Williams' team needs to work on what it is about the finals that Serena is nervous about, because she plays beautifully, then she gets to the finals and everything just unravels. So maybe she's getting too excited that, wow, I can't believe I just came back in tennis and I'm in the final. Or maybe since I'm in the final, am I sure I can win it? They need to find out is.
Or maybe it's the 2-2.
No, it wasn't the 2-2 because but second set she did look, especially with her breaking Naomi Osaka, but that's when everything went haywire. When the coaching violation came in and then the fight. But what it was Naomi was ready for the game.
Yeah.
She knew she had to keep her mind. She knew she had to keep her focus, and then she ended up winning her Grand Slam. So congratulations to her winning. She's not the youngest ever. I mean, she was playing against the youngest ever. But she is the first Japanese male, female,
of any
or domestic animal. That's record breaking. Congratulations to her. This is not about Serena. We get to the Serena story later, but congratulations to her. An amazing. I've seen people say, "Oh, this girl, where did she come out from?" 3 years ago, she the problem with her 3 years ago was that she couldn't keep up her big wins back to back. But she do from the end of 2017 to this year. She eventually won the Indian Wells here, which is a 1,000 Grand Slam was next, and she has done it. So congratulations to her. Let's wait to see how the rest of the year plans.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can take some messages coming up on what from Alabama says. Congrats to Djokovic, the Grand Slam, while Fidel Pocho, I'm ashamed on his behalf because he didn't bring his A game to the table. He also says that Serena Williams is becoming a bad loser. She always listens to your advice, Tega.
Chimabe has a bad loser. If she was comfortable winning, she won't win 23 Grand Slams.
She was comfortable losing. Lagos, we've got to take a break.
Yes, we'll take that advice after this.
Advice? What advice?
I don't plan to. This is my advice.
Yeah, because she already responded, so I was like, what advice?
The story is next, I'm sure.
The Serena story is next. New Twitter thing where you can't find the tweets as they come in.
Yeah, you have to scroll up to the top.
No, it's just mixing up. I can't find this handle.
Yeah.
So it is.
Because it says, oh, you missed this, and it gives you
Yeah.
like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
What's it now? That was 4 days ago.
The new Golden One 500-gram pack and 50-gram sachet for a nutritious and tasty breakfast. Get your kids charged up for school.
It begins every evening as the sun sets. Shopkeepers quickly lock up. Children hurry to finish homework. And life almost comes to a standstill. And that's not good enough. So we're financing solar power. It's just watching communities thrive and bringing families closer together. Because we're not here for good enough. We're Standard Chartered, and we're here for good.
Because people going places live an active life, they need a reliable roll-on to keep them fresher from office. The new Dubai roll-on. The new Dubai range of
We're back in
roll-ons is
6 o'clock.
designed to keep you fresh all day long. Dubai, freshness gets you first.
Studio. Max, you're up.
Yes.
So up.
On your radio.
Lagos, we're back in. We're talking sports inside of the locker room. So WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. And do not forget, we're streaming live on YouTube, so you can join us. Just type in the search box, Smooth 91 FM Lagos.
Absolutely. And as we go into our also got an old voice joining us in the studio right about now. Happy to welcome the shiny domed one. Good morning. How are you?
Is that old?
Sorry. No.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Let's go into this now. So, yes, but a lot of the conversation has been centered around Serena Williams. So she claims sexism during the U.S. Open final, and her actually body of women's tennis. So the WTA chief executive Steve umpire showed Williams a different level of tolerance on Saturday's outburst than if she had been in. Simon said in a statement that the WTA should be no difference in this provided to the emotions expressed by the men versus the women. We do not believe that this was done last night. Now, the head of the United States Tennis Association recognizes the U.S. Open badgering the umpire on the changeovers and nothing happens. We watch the guys do this all the time, says USTA chief Katrina Adam. Equality when it comes to what the men are doing to their chair umpires and what the women are doing. I think there has to be some consistency across the board. A lot of people are just saying this was bad behavior. But of course, what do you thoughts on it?
I think this is ridiculous. First of all, I must say this. The umpire was right or accurate. Let me not say he was accurate with all his calls. And I'll tell you why. Violation is warning, and she got the first code violation for the coaching. So even if her coach did signal her to move forward and she didn't see the signal, it was a code violation. So he had to give it. Second one, where she breaks the racket, because you have a first code violation, your second code violation is a point deduction. So for breaking her racket, now when you have those two, the next code violation is a game deduction. Now I know that they never got to this place in the US Open because this was the highest ever penalty given in this Open, apart from John McEnroe. It doesn't count. He was just crazy. But those were 3 accurate decisions in law. However, it was the way he dealt that led to the code violation. First of all, yes, there was a coaching code violation, and she said he wasn't coaching me, I would never cheat. What he needed to, which I've seen umpires every single time, they explain to you what, even if you did not see your coach's hand signals, your coach gave you a signal because he did some coaching for his actions, is the law. He doesn't have time to explain, like, this hysterical woman is here again. And so his reaction to he had a problem with the way the powers of his office, the decision. But his decisions were accurate. That's how it should go. But outcry women they don't react the same way. And I totally agree. And I like the way Billie Jean King put it. It was the best way ever. When women show emotions, they're being hysterical, they're being badly behaved. When men show emotions on the court, then they're just speaking their mind. And it's true. Roger Federer, the coolest, calmest dude. He told he told an umpire, "I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you." I kid you not. He wasn't even joking. He yelled at him like, "Look at me." There was another straight. He was asking the guy, what game is this? I was like, is the guy supposed to be counting the game for you? Is he your PA? And then the guy didn't answer him. He said, I'm talking to you, asking you a question. Roger Federer calm, yelled at him. There was no warning. There should have been a warning. In this tournament alone, Djokovic yelled at this same umpire. There was no warning. He broke his racket later, and because there was no warning, there was no point penalty. So the tolerance shown to men is different. The men are just expressing themselves, the women are being hysterical. And Williams has a history with this thing, and there is such a thing called human nature. Everybody that is shouting badly behaved, I've always told them, if you ask first, so bring it, because she's angry about something, she's going to talk about it. So the USTA chief is coming to, and the head of WTA is coming to the sexism, but they still find her. And they still collected her money. Do you understand? And they still collected her money. So you've admitted there's a problem, and you're still collecting.
What are your thoughts? You look like you have a couple on the topic.
Right. So a lot of what Tega said, I completely agree with. There has been a lot of this. I mean, a chair umpire got off his chair and went and actually coached.
Curious of all players.
And I'm not aware of any sanctions either to the player, or so. Yes, the umpire, and unfortunately, we're talking about a women's final. More that goes down. This is the first time I'm aware of an umpire whose name is popular. He was, I think, in his attitude towards dealing with this. I agree that there is a measure of sexism in the way players are treated. There was a lady who was fined for changing at
you are a man of God.
And intend to do on the side of the court.
In fact, let me tell you, when I pay my cable TV subscription, I know that at some point in time Nadal is going to take off his shirt. That's why I pay my cable, and then that's why I pay for my. I'm just saying, and then you're fining the woman for doing the same thing.
What I will say is that if we agree, the only thing I would say that digresses slightly from Tega's point, if we agree was an accuracy in the calls that the umpire made, then the fine or the deductions, there's a logical consequence of following that. So that should have been done, but I think I understand it. If they didn't fine her, it would then be a tacit admission that all the calls were wrong. So to that extent, but there needs to be addressed.
Thank you. We've got quite a few messages, so let's see if we can get through a few of them. Ade is asking, well, if Osaka's dad is from Haiti, why are they referring to her as Japanese? Ade, it's because for them to bear the surname Osaka because they were living and raised in Japan, and it was an easier thing for them to do.
No. I think he did it because he had nothing. Haiti,
and working in Japan, and it was.
No. It was not an easier option to. They grew up as Haitians because people keep saying like her father's absent. They grew up as Haitians, but the father said Haiti has nothing. Her tennis, it won't do anything for her growth. So they had to register her as Japanese. You know how the Japanese are about people.
Japan, it was expedient, and that's what, because that's what it was expedient. So that's what they're doing. But she always corrects reporters.
She grew up as Haitian. She grew up as a black girl.
Haitian. Okay, we've got Jude Van P from Sulu. He says, could it be that Margaret Court is responsible for Serena not winning yet another Grand Slam record? Just thinking. Interesting.
Wow.
And we've got Shay saying, I just woke up and dreamt that you Osaka. Yes. She did, but please, when is the real match between both of them? Tega, for real, was Serena treated well by the official? Well, now you've listened to what we had to say about that, and says the Super Eagles. Well, as you can see, Libya coach is already fretting, talking about Juju. If he sees real Juju now, please let's carry on.
Now, at least one person has been killed in very grim news. One person has been killed and nearly 40 injured in a stampede at the Madagascar football stadium. The incident occurred just before the start against Senegal in the qualifying round of the African Cup of Nations, according to local media. Now, thousands are still trying to get into the stadium through the only entrance. In a statement quoted to Rivo Rabericiona, he said, queue from 6 o'clock in the morning were meters from the gate when the stampede took place. I was trampled on the back, but my backpack cushioned the impact. There was only one gate open at into the stadium when it's such a big match, said so injured in the stampede.
Very reprehensible, irresponsible. One would hope that no penalties meted out to whoever is responsible for this. It's symptomatic of thoughtlessness that goes into this sort of thing. First of all, the chances that such a big crowd came through, that African tradition, someone had this bright idea of throwing the gates open of this thing. I understand that you want to get your support. If you're not going to be crowd management, then that is your surefire way of management. You're then going to do that, then you have to be practical about this. And one would also assume that a lot of the casualties here was also due to the limited presence of first responders and emergency care. And this seems to be a recurring problem on the internet, going from Mali to wherever you've had incidents of stuff, something similar to that a couple of years ago when we had that match in, is it Okano, where you had people climb up the floodlighting system to watch a game. Clearly there will be a fine. However, more to the point, this issue of crowd management, we need to get better at it continent wide. It's not just, it's a problem of better at it. We can't be copying a whole lot of good things and then not get to the whole. They need to, so that we avoid these ugly consequences.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, we've got a few messages coming in. I'm going to take this one from UM. It's quite passionate about what's happened with Serena, and I think it's going to cause a bit of a reaction here. It says, listen, there was clearly signaling of some sort from her coach, and Serena herself admitted that it was not a signal for tactical coaching. And her initial conversation with the umpire about the incident, she said clearly that she could understand why he would think he was coaching, but reassured him that no coaching was involved, and that should have closed the matter. But she went on to smash her racket after missing a second code violation, one that automatically results in a point penalty. Umpire thief for that. Saying there would have been no smash her racket and just focused on playing. There would have been no point penalty and no further coordinated, labeling the umpire a thief for applying rules to bully him into giving a clearly undeserved an apology, then playing the gender card to the effect that men also abuse umpires and get away with it. Thankfully, the race card was not on the table. Who knows if she would have played it.
Okay, so when I'm going to take two, there was no way, 1 minute that they've told me, there was no way she was going to leave that. They gave her a code violation. She said, shit, and she came back again and kept warning him, and it is absolute human nature. She's been playing this game since she was 16. She's been winning since she was 16. You don't come and tell her she's to go, and she's not the first person to break a racket. That you are very holy and righteous, and when people offend you and feel cheated, you don't do anything, you just turn. But that's you. That's why you don't have 23 Grand Slam titles. So sit in your corner and be calm.
We're gonna take a break now, and just this will be back for more inside the locker room.
Today I'm ready for their stupidity.
I was just going to add to UM that, and if I'm offended by what you said,
exactly.
Take it to Jesus.
Take it to Jesus. If he tweets back, we will know that he's the kind of. We will know if that's a point violation.
Oh my gosh, that's
true. Like to me, I'm just.
If he tweets back, you will see.
The issue that women are looking is a level of tolerance.
Yeah.
No one is saying that he has to be here.
Because I kept saying it here that the coach was
tolerated to an extent.
Did I say that the umpire's call was accurate?
Yeah. Most importantly, winners are passionate, right? It's a natural.
When people impugn your character, it's a natural, strong reaction. Except you are.
Unless you're that person.
Apart from that, except you that by nature are a cheat, you will then not be offended.
Let me tell you. You know that when you like you could see the hands once. I remember one day that Federer went to meet the receiving coaching. Now that just come and say, "You're not coaching me, just like that's coaching now." You No fine.
Yeah.
And he will never argue. He will never say anything
And
because he constantly.
I get it. I'm sure that the umpire in that time was deep into injury time feedback. As says, one asked whether the goal should have stood, Danny's put it away, and somehow the ref's given it as a foul. In big moments, sometimes you need a firm ref, so it's disappointing to finish that way.
He just stood there. Did he obstruct? Was it a foul? Yes. Should the goal have been disallowed? Absolutely. They should stop whinging and accept their loss.
But I don't. There's still some tennis tournaments that they allow coaches to come down and talk to the people. And Serena doesn't even take her that opportunity. When they have those tournaments that they say coaches can come and talk to them, she's like, nah, we don't do that. Right. We just play.
So she doesn't.
So that, which is why it's really hurting that you now said she was cheating. She's like, dude.
And on that note, we are done talking sports inside the locker room.
Yes,
Thank you very much. If you want to carry on the conversations, you can go over to Twitter at Tega Supreme is Tega's handle. Approach with caution. Brutalistics is Brutalistics handle. I say you apply the same sort of wisdom. But stay with us though, because coming in at 9 o'clock hour, we are going to talk and open up the phone lines inside Lagos Talks 981. And of course, you do get to call us up and know that at 9:40 you switch lanes and talk money, because it's all about money on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with a LAT 101. Good morning.
You should come to my Twitter so that I can block all of you. I'm very ready for you.
What?
Stupid people. You feel bad. If he feels bad, he should come and meet me.
I mean,
I'm waiting for him in Twitter.